get taken care of by the Blue Jays. 3-1 the final in that one. The Braves struck out 19 times. Michael Harris II and Austin Riley hitting 1 and 2 in that lineup combined to go 0 for 8 with 8 strikeouts. Meanwhile, the Mariners get set to take on the Reds in Game 2 of that 3-game series coming up. They'll send Bryce Miller to the hill. You catch it all right here, beginning with the pregame show, Seattle Sports on 710.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Happy Tuesday to everybody out there. Beautiful day once again outside, and hopefully it'll be even more beautiful by the end of the day with a Mariners victory on the road in Cincinnati, Game 2 of that series. Game 1, Dave, not going the way we had hoped. Started out well, looked good. Dylan Moore getting things started quickly. Luis Castillo looked pretty solid to begin the game, and then the wheels just kind of came off of Mr. Castillo. 4 walks later, 6 runs later, and that was all she wrote.
When Dylan Moore opens up with the home run, I'm thinking, okay, we got this game. And then he ends up having a great day. But, yeah, it was the pitching went downhill quickly, and certainly the appearance by Santos was not good, and he got sent down. But, yeah, I thought, I hate to – you get 4 runs, so I hate to blame it on the offense. But we talked about the meat of that lineup when you were going through it yesterday, Bob. It was like, okay, Dylan Moore, Julio, Cal Raleigh, Arozarena, but then it went Garver, Solano, Rivas, Williamson, the kid who actually came up and had his first big league hit that was awesome. But if you look at the meat of the order, they went 1 for 13. Or I think 12, 1 for 12 with Julio, Cal Raleigh, and Randy Arozarena.
Yeah, it wasn't good. You're counting on those guys to produce. I mean, I give Julio credit. He worked 2 walks on the day, but you gotta come up with base hits, man. You've got to find a way to be productive. And when you do get opportunities, they were 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They left 8 on base. He was 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. Cal was 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. They got to find a way to come through. I mean, Dylan Moore, kudos to him, man. Big day, 3 for 5, home runs, driving in 4, all 4 of their runs, 2 home runs on the day. He was spectacular. The rest of the lineup, you didn't get pretty much jack squat. You got 1 hit out of Arozarena, and then Williamson with his hit was great, and then J.P. Crawford had a hit. That was it. That was your whole day offensively. And 4 runs, you would hope you'd be able to make that stand up. But, when your starter has in Castillo, I saw Castillo taking a lot of heat online. And, look, it was a bad outing. I'm not defending the outing. It was terrible. Gives up 6 runs, walks 4. I saw people, he's getting squeezed. He gave up a light. Look, you adjust. You adjust to what the strike zone is. That's what every pitcher will tell you. He didn't adjust. It was not a good day for him. But you look at his 2 starts prior to this, he was outstanding. So I'm not ready to go, oh, this guy's a bum. I saw a lot of that stuff, Immediate reaction was, oh, get rid of him. He's terrible. I'm like, come on. Pay attention to what he was doing prior to this game. Not defending this game. Wasn't good. You need better. Bryce Miller, you got to get better from him today and moving forward. But, yeah, it was disappointing because it looked like, they jumped out early and – looked like they were going to take this one. I was looking at 5 in a row. I was getting fired up, Dave, talking about a 5-game win streak, and then it it seemed to happen kind of quickly. It just went the wrong way. All of a sudden, the Reds, who are not a good offensive team at all, they kept comparing the numbers throughout the broadcast. I mean, they're just struggling. Record-wise, they're the same. They were the same. They were 8-8 coming into this game. But you looked at where they ranked in all these different offensive categories, they were terrible. But they put up 8 runs yesterday.
Well, and I think that we saw sort of a similar outrage with Emerson Hancock, who just, he got killed. And I remember we had Charlie Furbush on afterwards. He's like, hey, there were some things to like there. I feel like whenever something goes wrong for somebody in the rotation, the people overreact. Like you said, people are just piling on Castillo. Yeah, I mean, he's been solid. There's a reason why they call him the Rock, but he had a bad outing, and I think Mariner fans overreact mainly because they know, look, this is the strength of our team, and when somebody like Julio or Luis doesn't come through, I think they kind of go into panic mode a little bit. But I would bet his next outing is going to be really good. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Castillo was that good. He's going to have outings like this, but I think there's still really a lot to like in that rotation. But I guess I understand the overreaction to, when things go wrong with one of those, guys that we count on in the starting rotation.
Yeah, I get reacting to this specific start. It was his worst start of the season. It's not even close. You look at his game log, his first start of the year, he goes 5 innings, gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Not bad. 2 runs, 5 innings. Okay. Next one, 7 innings, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts against the Tigers. They win. It's a great day. He goes up against the Astros after that. 5 innings, no runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Shuts them out. They lose the game in extra innings, but he pitched well. He didn't go deep, but those 2 starts back to back, he gives up combined 2 earned runs in 12 innings of work. He was doing his job. This one, he face planted. It was bad. It was just a bad day. So we'll see. He's not somebody I look at as your ace. I don't think he's that guy. Some will argue that he is. He is not. But he's better than what he showed yesterday. I'm not going to freak out over one start like that, because everybody's going to have a day out there where it's just not going to be there. They're going to get touched up. So we'll see moving forward how the rest of the rotation does. But hopefully the offense can back up the play of a starter who's struggling a bit. And that's the luxury they don't have. We talked about it a million times, that they're just offensively, this is not a team that comes back very often. They're not an offense built to pile up a bunch of runs. So there's not a lot of slack for your starter to go out there and have an off day. There just isn't.
Yeah, it's too bad that Dylan Moore, I mean, what a great game for him, and that got wasted. The 4 RBIs, the 2 home runs. I mean, he was just on it. And when you see a performance like that, because we talked about the big 3, Rodriguez, Raleigh, and Rosarena in that lineup last night, and you think, hey, one other guy, if just one other guy can chip in, and he did big time. And they get 1 hit out of all those guys. Like you said, Julio worked a couple of walks, but still, it was that part of the order doesn't happen very often. But you just didn't get any production out of him at all, going 1 for 12 there.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how Dan works this lineup and how often he feels compelled to get Garver in the lineup. Garver to me looks like he's just got no confidence, and I've got no confidence when he steps into the box. I mean, he's a guy that I had some kind of hope attached to, some optimism. Just basically, he just seemed to have a different. His swing looked quicker in spring. He was hitting well, and I know spring doesn't mean anything in terms of results, but for somebody who was coming off such a dreadful year, to have them looking good and feeling good during spring, you hope that can carry over. It didn't. It has not with him, and he's just a guy, to me, when I watch him up there, he just, I don't know. I'm not confident in what he's going to do, and I don't feel like he is either. And how Dan manages that, and look, Dan is worthy of some criticism yesterday too. You saw Luis didn't have it, and I thought he left him in a bit long. I was surprised he let him go. And, Dan's had a couple of moments out there with the bullpen and things where you're kind of like, I'm not sure what he's doing here, but okay. Yesterday, I thought he was worthy of a little criticism with the way he left him in there. So we'll see. We'll see what Dan does with Garver, but he's one. And look, not to pick on him, the rest of the lineup was dead too. But Garver's a guy we've talked about that, man, you hope he can turn it around. You brought him in here to be a DH, and to this point, I don't know. He doesn't go up there with any air of confidence to me when I watch him, and unfortunately, it's been a rough start for him, like a lot of the other guys in the lineup, unfortunately.
Yeah, you mentioned Garver. He was part of one of those plays that just annoys me. I think it was bottom of the 5th, where you got to throw from the outfield from Randy Rosarena to home plate, and I think it bounced twice. And then Garver doesn't handle it, and then Luis Castillo's not in position to back up the catcher. That's what bothers me there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did that better than I thought, but those are the things that drive me nuts. I think those kind of things. Well, you see, like a throw that's way offline that, all of a sudden Cal has to run 20 feet to the right to get. I mean, it just that part of it looked like kind of a clown show, and that part I think is the one thing that sort of enrages me the most. I mean, I get it. Somebody doesn't have a good day. They go 0 for 4, whatever. But, when you have that kind of sort of scene where, you just have a couple of guys doing something that they probably shouldn't have done, or maybe make a better throw, whatever. Those are the things that I think irritate me the most.
Well, yeah, you have to execute the fundamentals. I mean, that's in your control. You know, whether you come up with a hit or not, or whether you're on or off that day as a pitcher, some of that's out of your control. You can control being in the right spot where you're supposed to, hitting the cutoff man, backing up the catcher. Luis got off. There was a play that was I think Solano fielded the ball, and Luis kind of got a late break to first base, and the runner, I think it was Fraley, might have been the guy that hit the ball. Yeah, he ends up being safe because, Luis got to just, I don't know if he just paused for a moment. He kind of did his little spin after he threw the ball, and it took him a beat longer to get off the hill. I mean, just the fundamentals. Yeah. Again, we keep talking about the slack. This team does not have it. You do not have enough talent on this team to overcome mistakes. You cannot make mistakes. You can't have a bad outing because you just aren't good enough. That's the reality. Period. The end, as you like to say. So, I mean, so I'm with you. Those are frustrating moments because they're not the Dodgers. They're not the Yankees. They're just not built to overcome that kind of stuff. You don't have enough slack. But getting back to Castillo, Dan Wilson just commenting on his tough outing after the game.
When a pitcher doesn't get ahead, he's just missing. And, I didn't think he was missing by a lot. And thought he was around the zone just off the edges and not getting the call. So, it's tough, when you pitch from behind and they were able to get some of those big hits when they needed them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he was all over the place. He was missing by a bit. I thought the ump was having a bit of an off day as well. If you want to look at some of the pitch track stuff, he was missing on a few calls. But again, that's what starters do. That's what pitchers do. You adjust to the strike zone. You adjust to the way the guy is calling the game. Whether he's giving you the outside strike, he's not giving you the outside, whatever's going on. As long as they're consistent, they adjust. And therein lies the argument for the automatic ball strike system that'll be in play at some point here. But let's at least relive one moment of positivity. Dylan Moore, his second home run of the game, giving the M's the 4-2 lead.
Here's Dylan Moore having a great night. The pitch on the way, swinging a fly ball deep to left field. Dylan having a greater night. Goodbye baseball. His second home run of the ball game. Dylan Moore with a leadoff home run in the first on Nick Lodolo's second pitch of the game. He had an RBI single in the second. And now Dylan with another home run with JP aboard. And Dylan with 4 runs batted in tonight. And the Mariners lead the Reds 4-2. It is the night of nights for Dylan Moore. Wow.
I was feeling good at that point, Dave. I thought they had it. Thought they had that win in the bag. They were just going to coast to their 5th victory in a row. We were going to come in feeling good, and it went the wrong way. And Lefko asks a question on the show sheet. When Kirby's healthy, is Castillo the 5th best pitcher in this rotation? Where would you slot him? Where would you rank him?
Yeah, I guess I would I would say he's maybe 4th or 5th. Maybe Bryce Miller being, in that mix. But yeah, I think we did that a number of times last year too with Castillo, where, because he's pretty solid as the season goes on as a collective, but every once in a while he'll give up a couple home runs or whatever. And so, yeah, I guess I would have him, probably near the bottom, 4 or 5.
That's probably, if we're just looking at guys as they've pitched so far this season, which is a small sample size for everybody, I'd go Logan 1, Wu number 2. Kirby's the wild card. We don't know what he's going to look like.
Yeah.
And then I would go Castillo and then Miller. We'll see what Kirby looks like. Bryce has had a rougher start. We'll see what he does today. But yeah, out of the 4 mainstays that are there, Kirby not being there, he'd be my number 3 right now out of that group. And I don't think that's being harsh on him. I think it's where they're at right now. And another question that Lefko asked is, would you rather have Dylan Moore leading off or Julio hitting lead off? Go with the hot bat. I don't care. Yeah. Which of the 2 is hot? Go with him. So I'd run Dylan back out there today. Unless they're facing, I didn't even look at the pitching match. Are they facing a righty? Then I might think twice about it. But yeah, I mean, in any situation, go with a hot bat. Go with the guy that's producing, because you just, again, don't have the luxury to sit a hot bat.
Yeah. What do we get? We got right-handed pitching tonight. Nick Martinez.
Yeah, Moore is batting 7th today. Julio back in the leadoff spot, it looks like.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know as far as against, he's a little bit better. I want to say he's like batting between 2 and 250 against right-handed pitchers. It's just a little bit better this year, I think. But, yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys. I think Angie said it, and I'm sure I remember you talking about it, Bob. Remember when he came out to the cantina last year? We're sitting there looking at him going, this dude is strong, man. And she said last night, pound for pound, he's probably the strongest guy on the team. And, man, it doesn't look like he's swinging that hard, and he's just hitting them out of the park. So, yeah, I love what you're saying out of Dylan Moore. But hopefully he's conquered the right-handed pitching. It's a little bit better this year, like I said.
Well, I just pulled up his splits. Actually, it's not. He's hitting a $176 with a 222 on base. No home runs, and he's got almost equal number of at-bats. He's got 19 versus left, 17 versus right. He's hitting .421 with a 500 on base versus left-handers, and versus right-handers, 176, 222 on base, 176 slug. Yeah, he's dreadful against right-handers. So
all right, that's my bad. I was looking last week though. I think he was at least crusting up in above the Mendoza line as far as against right-handers, but obviously small sample size. But we'll see how he handles it this year. I'm sure that's something he worked a lot with in the offseason.
Hey, quickly before we get to take 2, Daniel Jeremiah on with Brock and Salk today talking about the draft, which will be happening next week, and talking about the possibility of the Seahawks taking a cornerback at number 18. Asked for a name. They asked Daniel Jeremiah for a name that hasn't been mentioned much in connection to the Seahawks. Here's what he said.
How about Will Johnson? Yeah, he's someone who was predicted to be like a top 10. Some had as like a top 5 pick in this draft, coming into the year. Didn't play as well, got hurt. Then, there's a big, the knock on him when I watch him, like he's my 14th player. He'll probably maybe drop a spot or 2. But good year, national championship year, from off coverage, he plays downhill. He sees it. He's got excellent instincts. At USC this year had pick 6. He just kind of, he's got really, really good vision and ball skills, and he's a big corner.
You guys got 3 pick 6s, 2 last year. And you look at some of his interception numbers. He's got 9 in 3 years. He's a big dude. He's 6'2", 205. And so, kind of approaching like Sherman size. And then you look at him, he's a good tackler. But the problem is he didn't participate in the combine. He had a year that was clipped by injury, so he only had 6 games this last year. And but man, now the thing I was thinking about why that could possibly be the case is, used to think about the Seahawks corners and go, hey man, you got Witherspoon, you got Trey Brown, you got Michael Jackson, you got Reek Woolen. Well, those guys are gone. Michael Jackson's gone, and Trey Brown signed with the Niners in the offseason. So you start looking at the depth chart, and it's like Nehemiah Pritchett, Josh Jobe, Reek Woolen, Devin Witherspoon. Am I missing somebody? That's about
Kobe
it.
Bryant, but Kobe Bryant's more of a safety these days. So.
Yeah, he's an inside guy. So, yeah, he can play out there. I mean, he has the versatility to do that. But now all of a sudden you start looking at corners and go, Yeah, and I think John has said this before, John Schneider, that, you can't get enough good pass rushers, but then also cover guys.
Yep.
There's just these ridiculous freak athletes out there playing wide receiver. So, yeah, I wouldn't be mad at him for taking that, but I think that's a medical problem, and that's one of those things that Schneider kind of shies away from.
Well, Seahawks are hosting him for a visit today, so I'm sure they'll get down to the nitty-gritty with him. Meanwhile, let's take two.
Yeah, speaking of the NFL draft, yesterday Travis Hunter said, and I hope he's exaggerating here, he said, "I'd rather retire than only play either cornerback or wide receiver." So today, Giants GM Joe Shane, who they're drafting third, he said, "All right, we will let you play both if we draft you."
That one kind of hit me wrong, Dave. I didn't like hearing that from a guy who has yet to step on a pro field saying, well, if you don't let me do what I want, I'd rather just not play. I'm like, all right, does that make me want to draft a guy that has that kind of attitude coming into the league?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he said it in good nature or whatever. Did he put maybe a lots of love sign, LOL?
Yeah, I didn't see. I didn't hear it, so it reads different. Maybe it was different the way it sounded, but it just, in reading it, I went, yeah, if I'm a GM, I don't like hearing that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's something that got said by him. He's not going to retire. You're going to turn down millions and millions of dollars. You love this game, obviously, so... And, maybe they'll humor him. Maybe they'll throw him out there at wide receiver. They've been doing a big thing on NFL Network about, guys like Deion Sanders that played receiver. I think it was Rod Woodson played a little bit and everything. So I could see them humoring him, with a couple of passes, per year or something. But, I think, typically you're just playing one position.
Well, reigning AL Player of the Week, Ty France delivered a walk-off hit earlier today. Gave the Twins a 4-3 10-inning win over the Mets to win the series. Minnesota, though, only 7-12 this season.
I kind of miss Ty France right now. I think there are a lot of Mariner fans that wouldn't mind his bat in the lineup the way he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he shows up in the news quite a bit. Like, I'll be watching MLB Network, and last year, was he with the Reds last year?
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah, there was a couple of times like, oh, Ty France hit a home run, and, now with the Twins, and had a good day. So,
in a good week before, he's the AL Player of the Week. I think he hit over 400 with 2 home runs, and I'm happy for him.
Does that one bother you? Does it bother you?
Because, I mean, for whatever reason, he fell off here, and it wasn't coming back, and I don't know why. But I'm rooting for him. He couldn't be a nicer guy. He was a solid player here for the first couple of years, and it just started going the wrong way. So I am happy for him. Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. All right, game 2 of the Reds and the Mariners coming your way next. Bryce Miller on the hill. Hopefully we'll see the offense and the pitching and everything we need to see for a victory. We're going to talk to you tomorrow right here with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
The Cal Raleigh Show.
Belted way out of here to right field. Holy smokes.
Every Thursday with Shannon Dreyer on Wyman and Bob.
Seattle has been nothing but good to me. I would love nothing more to play for one team my whole career.
Listen live on the Seattle Sports app or find the video on YouTube.
Cal Raleigh with a walk-off home run.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
47,000 fans are going crazy.
Protein, protein, protein. Everyone is trying to get protein in their diet, but we need fats too. Healthy fat, that is, like the rich, natural peanut and almond butters found at G2G protein bars. Most bars don't have it because, well, most bars aren't real food or refrigerated. Fortunately for you, we aren't most bars. At G2G, you'll find a balanced helping of protein and healthy fat. The fact that they're delicious is just a bonus. They're fast, easy, and perfect for on-the-go families. G2G protein bars. Find them in the refrigerated section at Costco.
Hi, this is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. Spring has sprung. Need color to brighten up your yard or privacy trees to keep your neighbors guessing? Now is the time to buy. With hundreds of trees arriving in the nursery daily, Big Trees has the perfect tree for you. Check out our updated inventory list online at bigtreesupply.com or come visit the nursery today.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Hey, Brock Ewart here, and you've been hearing me talk for a few months now about People Come First Construction Group. If you're interested in a backyard oasis, boy, do I have the event for you. PCF Group is launching their brand new luxury design center, and you can join me, some friends, and experts on April 25th for their community grand opening. The event starts at 11 a.m., but come say hi to me from 3 to 5 p.m. That day only, PCF Group will pay your sales tax on products like grills, hot tubs, patio furniture, and more. The new design center is an immersive experience for customers, showcasing how outdoor spaces elevate home living, relaxation, and entertainment. Food and beverages, they'll be available, giveaways, and you'll have the chance to view their state-of-the-art virtual reality system. You'll also have the chance to mingle with special guests, both current and former football players. So come on out. Check out PCF Group's new exterior design premier gallery grand opening event on April 25th. For more details, visit pcfgroup.com or call 206-992-0364.
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
When you have really good leaders, it makes it easy.
Gia arrived at Lee Johnson after 10 years at another dealership.
You know your job, but then you have people who you can rely on to help you with the big stuff that you need that support from. And I've gotten that every day with my service manager, with our assistant service manager, with even like our GM and our GSM. The way that, we're now on the showroom together, we are so close-knit just as a department. My service manager here, he's always open to teach you whatever you want to know. He just wants everybody to do good around him, and if somebody wants to learn something, I'm here to do it. And I've never had a service manager like that before. They're really good at promoting from within. That's one thing that I've learned from working here. I see people start out as a lot porter, and then people work their way all the way up to being a general manager.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity.
So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Through June 23rd, get 400 megabit Xfinity Internet with free equipment and unlimited internet data. Plus, get one unlimited 5G mobile line included, all for $40 a month for 1 year. And ask how you can get a free 5G phone. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply with paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Xfinity Internet required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year, rate increases to $70 per month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual fees vary and not guaranteed.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the